Afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here. Every single year when we do this event, the first thing we do after the event is we think, can we actually do this again? It's amazing. We go back to our partners, MotorTrend, Roadkill, City of Pontiac, M1 Concourse, Department of Transportation. It's amazing the number of people that have to, number one, agree that they're okay with doing it and let us do it again. And shockingly, every year, they keep saying, yeah, okay, let's do it. It was kind of fun. Let's do it again. So thank you to all of them for letting us put on this horsepower circus every year as kind of the pregame to the Woodward Dream Cruise. They told me this wasn't being live streamed, so I can say a couple things that I wouldn't say if it was live streamed. I was walking in here this morning, and it just overcame me that this is our 7th year. And anybody that was at the first year, oh my God, what a difference. The first year we were in a parking lot of an abandoned stadium. There was potholes in the track. There was almost no shutdown area. We had a bunch of people actually hit the retaining wall. It was crazy. It was a miracle that we pulled it off. And then I walked in here today, I'm like, oh my God, look at this place. We went from porta potties and sitting on coolers to this. To all the partners, thank you. Absolutely amazing. This year, we have another new partner and some special guests. The new partner that we have this year is DraftKings. Yes. You cannot bet, but you can participate in a prediction pool that's not betting. You can predict who could win the Grudge match, or who could be the fastest, or would the fastest be a Dodge, or crazy things like how long is the American anthem. It's a lot of fun. You can win 10 grand. We've already got 15,000 people enrolled in the prediction pool. So if you're not in, check it out. It's going to be fun. And then our special guest. We have a special guest, a bunch of special guests with us here today. The Mopar Career Automotive Program, the CAP students are here with us today. They didn't have anything to do with putting on this event, but they are going to ensure that these cars in this hobby are going to last into the future. And that program has a real strong pull for me. Most people probably don't know this, but that's where I started out. I started out coming out of a trade school, going into a dealership, working as a technician, and then ultimately coming over to the factory side. So I'm excited to look at these kids and see it in their eyes. I mean, the world is your oyster, guys. You can do anything you want with this. So that's great. New partner, special guests. Then this year's event. Every year, we try to just keep raising the bar. So this year, we got some new stuff. We got the normal stuff, the thrill rides, the laps. We got the car show. We got the vendor area. A couple things that we added, though. We added the TRX off-road thrill rides. Check that out. That's going to be really amazing. Koval's here, my counterpart from Ram, and I jokingly tell him it's okay for him to be here because it's got Hellcat in it anyway, so it's cool. He can be here. But outside of that, I think the racing is going to be amazing. You guys know this. It brings in some of the fastest street cars in the country to compete for $30,000. And this year's Grudge match, last year's Grudge match was really cool. We kind of hit on something fun. This year, I think it's going to be even better because last year, everybody built the same car. This year, they all got to build their own car. We gave them a budget. We gave them a Hellcat powertrain, but we threw them a real curveball this year. This year, they all have to run manual transmissions. So as sketchy as this road is, try and launch it with a lot of horsepower and a manual and get it down the track. I mean, it is going to be it's going to be crazy to watch this. I think I'm going to turn it over to Hammer now, who's going to take you through all the drivers and their cars, and they can tell you what they did to them. And we'll be around here all day if anybody's got any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. Everybody, now it's time for us to go back outside. So come on outside. You can come join me. We're going to be outside now because we've got a whole bunch of cars, a whole bunch of builders, and a whole bunch of drivers lined up ready to go out here. So just give you the quick heads up on what we'll do here. We've got, well, first of all, I'm John Hammer, and I've been super blessed for the last 16 years. I've been going around the country representing this brand and all the excitement that goes with it. I used to be the lead instructor on the SRT track experience, and then I've gone to pretty much every event that you would go to. I've been there as well. So it's certainly been a blessing to be hooked up with this incredible brand for so many years. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to our teams, our builders, our drivers. We're going to start off with the newbies. Then we're going to segue into our seasoned veterans. Then we're going to recap with our defending champion and see how things go there. But before we get into that, I want to introduce my sidekicks for the day, if you will. Number one, the guy from Roadkill, the actual holy cow namesake of this whole thing, Dave Freiberger. Hey, Dave.
Hey, thanks a lot for having us. I can't wait to see this. I can't believe we've been doing this so long. As Tim mentioned, this has been going on since 2015 at the Pontiac Silverdome parking lot, and here we are.
Oh, rest in peace, Silverdome, right? And the other one out here helping us out, our Dodge chief donut maker, Preston Patterson. Preston, how are you, man? Good to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here. This is my first year here, and this is the 7th year that they've been doing this, so it's just an honor to be here today.
And I will say, for any of you here in the media who have not been here before, you guys are in for a real treat. This is awesome. There's a reason we've been doing this for 7 years. It's because it doesn't suck, right? This is good fun. So let's get started. Let's fire things up and see what we've got going here. The very first thing that I want to do is I want to talk about our newbies right here. They're on this side of the group. And actually, Dave and Preston, I want to ask your angle on this. For a group of folks who have never been here to Woodward before, what kinds of things have you seen? Are you expecting? What's your take on the noobs here?
Well, the big thing is I hope we've got some legit street racers here, and I know we're not allowed to say that out loud, but as Tim mentioned to you, this is legit the street. You will be racing on Woodward. The street is crowned. It's got manhole covers on it. There is a railroad track that you will cross between the staging lanes and the burnout box. This is legit. So, Alex schooled people last year on how to show up with a big tire car, and I see a couple of people have figured that out. Traction is going to be key, and they have thrown them a loop with the 6-speed, Preston.
Traction is definitely going to be key to this. One thing that I've seen here is that the roads are a little bumpy. So I'm very curious to see how this goes. The newcomers know what they have that's going to go on out there. So whoever hook up is going to win.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Let's go to our very first group here and say hi to actually Detroit natives here. Christina, let's get the story out of the way here. Born and raised here, how did you even get wrapped up in this crazy thing to start with?
Honestly, as you mentioned, I am 20 minutes away. Me and Grant Sloan both live 20 minutes away. So it only makes sense that we participate in this event and take part in it. And I saw this opportunity. We used to stop by all the time. We actually met here, and that's how we started dating. So it only makes sense. So, yeah.
Well, that's a great story. Since you're Detroiters, we've got a bunch of Detroit folks here. I have to ask, American or Lafayette, Coney Island?
American. I'm sorry.
That's a fair choice. No, there's no wrong answer on that one, by the way. All right, there's no wrong answer. That's good stuff. All right, so the car that you have built, it's pretty exciting stuff. You've told me that not a lot of sleep lately as you guys put this thing together. Tell us real quickly about the build.
Yeah, so we're actually working with Performance Lab Detroit, which specialize in Mopars, and they're very local, so they help us a lot. Our whole premise about this was building it on a budget and maintaining that 10 grand budget that you guys provided us. And we actually fell within below that 10 grand budget, and we're still putting down power, so I'm excited to see it run.
Well, what do you say we pull this cover off and take a peek at your car? You guys, let's take a look at what Christina Roki has brought to this thing. Look at that. How about that? That is quite the wrap you've got on there. That's kind of your thing, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It really is. Yeah, that's awesome. That looks great. All right, you guys love that thing. Looks fantastic. Let's move on to our next contestant. Hey, Dave, how's it going, man? Awesome, man. Come on over, you guys. This is David Patterson. You've brought a very interesting car to the table here, and I'll be the first to tell you I'm a wagon guy myself. So tell me about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we got this opportunity, I was just talking to my friends and being like, would just be like a weird one to do, but could still work on the Charger platform. And I think we went with the right choice. And it's probably the most street car here. It's full interior. Could drive it on the street. It's registered. You could do anything. So even if we lose, you just beat a wagon. Congratulations. Who cares, right? So we're just gonna go down the strip in style, and this is gonna be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I love that story. How much support have you had support, or have you had people going, "What in the heck are you thinking with a wagon like this?"
I think overall the reception's been pretty cool. I mean, I think this is one of those cars that at the time there was an SRT version, but people didn't know how to feel about it. It's kind of like in Back to the Future where he's like, your kids are going to love it. You're not ready for this yet. But I think nowadays the wagon is kind of coming alive, especially coming from overseas, and Americans are starting to dig them more. So let's bring it around.
I will tell you for a fact that we used to thrill people on the Dodge Thrill Ride course when we had the Magnum SRT with us, because people would look at us like, what in the world are you guys doing drifting a station wagon? It's awesome. You're about to prove us that this thing's also a drag car. What do you say we open it up and take a peek at this one? You guys, David Patterson, and check this thing out, his fantastic Dodge Magnum station wagon. All right. Up next, Tony. You and I were talking a little while ago. Tony, you guys know how nice the weather is here right now, right? So Tony's from Phoenix, and he was about to tell me how humid it was in Phoenix. You see the giggle you're going to get out of this, man.
No, I get it. Yeah, humid for us.
Humid for you guys. But this is a really cool car. I mean, we just talked to Dave. He talks about bringing something that stands out. Yours really stands out too. What was the thought behind building an old Barracuda?
Well, so our shop specializes in building custom cars and hot rods. So we wanted to build something that kind of showed what we're used to doing. You know, we don't work on anything newer than 72. So we brought a 69 Barracuda here. So, and then we heard it was a drag race, so we brought a drag car.
Well, you made a good point about that, because you said you're a hot rod guy, you're a show car guy. You're not a drag racer. So what is? I mean, have you put yourself into a big situation here where it's going to be a tough one for you?
It'll be trial by fire. I figure we'll figure it out as we go.
You guys will notice there's a big theme. There's a whole lot of that fake it till you make it stuff here when we do Roadkill nights powered by Dodge. All right, man, you want to show this thing off for us? All right, you guys, let's take a peek at this thing. Look at this. Oh, hang on, it's caught on the big the motor's so big. Yeah, absolutely. Look at that. Look at that exhaust coming out of the side. How much Bondo's on this thing? Not a lot, he says. Not a lot. I got a buddy of mine who used to be in, let's just say, the hobby of another brand that has an air-cooled rear engine, okay? And he always said, you always paint it white because it covers up the Bondo. It hides it real well. So I'm not calling you out, but maybe just a little bit. All right. It's a clean, reasonably clean body. All right, up next, you guys, from Dallas. Now, Dallas, if you want to talk about weather, you guys get hosed on both ends. You get 110 degrees, and you still get ice storms, don't you?
Oh, yeah, we get them both.
You guys, Herman here is Demonology. You've probably seen some of his stuff online. You started off with a Demon and went down the rabbit hole pretty fast, and we've watched the builds online there. When it came to this one, though, you instead of using that car, you got your hands on something else. Tell us real quick the story on that one.
Well, we was able to get a hold of a body in white, a 2009 body in white. And it was just a shell, and the guys over at Jack Fab Performance, they jumped in and did all the hard work and took some of the parts from the Soul Snatcher and moved it over to this car. So it's the new Soul Snatcher, and I plan on bringing all these guys to a new religion. I'm going to be baptizing all of them today. So they will leave here soulless. I will take all the souls up to the altar of Mopar, just like I do the rest.
Oh, I love some trash talking. Yeah. Like it. All right, well, let's take a look at this piece, man. Let's see what we got going here. Oh, it even just got the right color and everything. Look at that. Nice. Holy cow, look at the tire on that. Jeez, man. Don't look at that. Nothing to see here. Hey, I don't mean to call you out, but you forgot to take your shipping guard off.
Hey, can you go grab that shipping guard? Can you grab it right quick? check. Hey, check. Just touch it. Touch it.
I'm terrified.
Just touch it.
Okay.
It's painted on there. That's my hater alert. I've caught another hater. That's the hater alert. I'll paint that on there just for the haters. Thank you, hater.
I got you, man. I got you. All right, I got to skip you guys. I had to, man. I had to. God. And for those of you guys who maybe are not part of our small, strange world, just look that up. That is a big, huge point of contention across the planet in the world. Up next here, you guys, we've got Colette Davis, Nick helping her build this thing, and this is perhaps the most unique shaped vehicle of everything that we've got here today. Again, we've been talking about standing out as the newbies that are part of this program. You want to turn heads. This is one way to do it. Of all things in the world, why did you pick what is it, 62 Lancer?
Yeah, so this is a 1962 Dodge Lancer GT. Not gonna lie, I didn't even know that this car existed before I found this exact one. Yeah. It has the weirdest, wildest stock body lines I've ever seen in my entire life, and it just looked weird, and I knew it had to be mine. So we basically got this car essentially as a fully built custom chassis already, used it as a rolling chassis, and had to build everything in the past 3 weeks. Nick and I, we're drifters, so we had a whole lot to learn in the past few weeks, and I'll be drag racing for the very first time.
Yeah, well, you and I were talking a little bit about this earlier. Some of your background, you've done open wheel Formula car road racing kind of stuff. You've driven monster trucks. You have gone drifting. So all three of those things are exactly the same as drag racing, right?
Yeah, drag racing is actually the one sector in motorsport that I've never dabbled in at all. I don't know anything about it, so there's been a lot to learn, even in just the way that we're building this car, setting things up. It's so different, and there's so many weird drag racing things that it's been a lot to learn, but I'm excited about it, and I'm hoping maybe my monster truck wheelie experience will come in handy. We'll find out.
Maybe weight transfer is your friend, right? Absolutely. Let's take a peek at this one, you guys. A 62 Dodge Lancer. Wow. Yeah. Ooh. That's pretty. All right, so we've now met our newbies. We've met the folks that are brand new to this program. Now it's time to find out who our seasoned veterans are, right? But before we get to these guys, I want to bring back our sideline co-hosts over here, guys, and let's talk about what we did last year. I mean, we had all kinds of drama last year. We had cars not showing up until the last possible minute. I'm glad that never happens, Weston. Hey, I could have said Tavares, too. I mean, that was last year's issue. But how much do you think it's going to help for them to have had some experience in this competition?
Well, it should, but here's the bottom line. They were all here last year, right? So you lost. So hopefully you went to school. But then again, I'm sitting here and I'm going, this guy doesn't have a clutch. Tavares, you lost half the back of your car. What's going on? Yeah. No one's got giant meats. Alex took you to school on that. Traction. So we're going to be watching for you because you need to make it happen. Grow up this time. What do you think?
I'm gonna have to agree with that, right? He did show up without the transmission in his car. So I mean, these are the veterans. So we just kind of expecting a little bit more
weight reduction. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
By the way, the Automotive Don Rickles show is what this is all going to be about. Y'all need to bring a sense of humor. Have a good time.
Yeah, because we're definitely here to have a good time. So I'm ready to see the car run without the transmission.
Before we even get on down there, let's make our first stop right here with our veteran guys, the fellas from Throttle. Last year it was a lot of fun watching you guys do the build. You built pretty much a traditional bolt-on. Let's throw a bunch of parts at a car and see what happens. Yeah, that didn't exactly work this year. Who's talking? Evan, you want to talk first? Yeah. Who's talking? Ricky, who's talking, guys? Who's talking? Mickey, this is not the kind of car that you normally bring to a drag race. Generally speaking, when you're going, we were just talking about weight transfer, right? You're going to want something with, long wheelbase, something that's got an automatic transmission, something. And you guys showed up with a sports car.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't beat them, build a cooler car, right? No, so really, we did show up with a car that we think is fast. And obviously, it has a Hellcat motor in it. So we went and spent most of our budget on suspension. And we built a car that we can take back home to San Diego and drive on the street. And that was what was important to us. We didn't want to show up here with a full-built drag car that is going to sit in our shop and collect dust after this event. So this is a car that we can use. We can do a lot of cool things with it afterwards and build more content and generate more eyeballs. So.
No, absolutely, for sure. If you haven't figured it out yet by the shape of this thing, there's a Dodge Viper underneath this cover with a Hellcat engine in it. Guys, I got it. Ricky, you're standing here. No, you're in. Come on, you're good. I've heard that the Viper guys aren't necessarily thrilled with what you guys have done.
The Viper community hates us so much right now. I've gone back and I try to explain why we did. They don't care. They're like, you should have just put twin turbo on the Viper engine. I'm like, the whole point is for us to come here with a Hellcat. They're like, nope. No.
Yeah, they all think it's ruined. It's not ruined. Trust me. This car was pretty roached out, and they were able to put this thing back together and actually breathe some serious life into it. So what do you say, guys? Pull that cover off. Let's take a peek at what Throttle has built for here at Roadkill Nights. What's so wild about it is it looks so stock from out front, right? I mean, it's really, it truly is impressive, you guys, that you were able to fit it under, because everybody always said, well, the Hellcat engine's so tall, it'll never fit underneath the hood. Yeah, you're right. Full interior on this car, and actually, we were saying earlier, this has the pretty rare cognac interior, that baseball glove leather interior in there. It's yeah. So pretty wild. The Viper guys may be mad at you, but I think you're gonna surprise a few folks out there on the track. That's pretty cool. All right, next one up. Hey, Freddie, what's going on, buddy? How are you, man? Did you get any sleep last night?
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, sleep is totally overrated, man. We were teasing earlier that last year you did. Yours was literally. In fact, was it the delivery truck that broke down? Is that what happened last year? Is that right?
Yeah, delivery truck broke down almost immediately after picking up the car. Then he had to cannonball it like 11 or 12 hours throughout the night, and we got there 15 minutes after the whole press event started.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Literally, we were talking about this, and I'm trying to divert people's attention this way while they rolled a car in this way. It was so funny. This year, you've brought us a little something here, dude. This is unique. This is the first time anybody's brought a pickup truck to our competition.
Yeah, I thought I would bring something a little bit more unique than last time, because we had Dodge Chargers last time, and this time I brought a Dodge Charger. Except for the fact that now this Dodge Charger is a pickup truck, also known as a Ute.
Right. Yeah, but the story behind it is pretty funny. Why is it a pickup truck?
So this used to be a Need for Speed movie car. It was used in the movie, and then sort of kind of got into another chassis, and then a tree fell on it, and we decided to make lemonade out of lemons and put a Ute body kit on the back of it, and then a Hellcat everything, the suspension, the engine, drivetrain, everything, and now it's better.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at it, you guys. Let's pull this cover off and see what happens for the yeah. How about that, huh? I love the movie car story behind it, right? I think that's great. I love the bed liner. I love that. I love the cop car theme. Yeah. How do you not love that? It is, right. It's cop car. Cop shocks, cop suspension, all those jokes. Pursuit Ute. Write that down. Pursuit Ute. All right. You could put a lot of bad guys. With a couple of bungee cords, you could put a bunch of bad guys back there. Weston, you ready to climb on back in there, be that bad guy? Sure. I know you could be. We're good. All right. Up next, Weston Champlin. Weston, how you doing, man? First of all, did you get any sleep last night at all?
For the last week, I haven't. Yeah. What state am I in?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm in the right one. So, in the honor of Roadkill and showing up in like the worst fashion possible, I wasn't late. I was fashionably late. You know, you got to look better that way. But our car also doesn't have a transmission in it at the moment, because we went and tested it and blew the clutch up in it which is obviously directly to plan, and then spent like all the way up to like 5 a.m. last night trying to put a clutch into it, and then that didn't work, and then that didn't work. So we're just going to weld the driveline to the back of the crank and call it a day.
Okay, I like that, you know?
We don't have to worry about shifting gears at all. We'll just be like...
Just send it, right? Yeah.
The button says start for a reason.
Yeah, I like it. That's great. Now, that said, this is not the first problem you've had. You had issues with, you thought about making an all-wheel drive thing at one point. You've had a lot of issues going through this. Clearly, I was about to make a joke about pulling out your hair, but you still got plenty of that.
It's mad. I'll be honest, it's not good. No, we actually got halfway through building a all-wheel drive cop car that I still have sitting in my shop, but at the last second, they're like, yeah, you have to use the 6-speed, not the Turbo 400, and I'm like, okay, all right. So I had this bad boy, which I had no motor, transmission, fuel system, nothing in it because, well, I'm turning into an off-road Challenger. So it's going to have 40-inch mud boggers on it after this event. So it was there. We're like, we have 14 days to build it. Let's get this thing built and let's rock and roll. So we got it built. We hauled it to Georgia, got it tuned, made, I don't know, horsepower or something. I forgot. And then the back, tested it, blew up the clutch, put it in the trailer, brought it here, and some things in the middle, I think. I don't know. I forgot.
No, that's good. That's pretty much the way Roadkill works here. So let's take a peek at what we've got. Yes, admittedly, it's not drivable yet, but it's not. What? It looks beautiful.
Be aware of what's going on.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
She might not drive, but she is pretty. You know, she's fine. I mean, look at her. And the thing is at the end of the day, we're here to have a good time, and we're going to probably hit a wall or something if I hit the wrong gear again. But as long as it's fine so I can put 40-inch mud boggers on it after this, we're good.
Outstanding. You guys, there you go. There's our returning contestants here at Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge. Now, we've got one more. Oh, jeez. We've got one more car that we need to uncover. That's our defending champion. We're going to get to this here in just a moment. And once again, I'm excited to see what you got under the cover here, Alex. Before we get there, though, Dave, Preston, fellas, your thoughts on what you've seen so far and what it takes to be a defending champion here at Roadkill.
I guess the first thing I should say is I bought the right to like make fun of these guys because I was the very first guy to ever lose at Roadkill Nights. Yeah, Tim Kuniskis put us together with the guys from Gas Monkey Garage in 2015, and I lost. So, hey, I feel your pain. Those who can't do, teach, which is why I'm here commenting on what's going to happen with all of these cars. He asked us, Preston, what do we think about the cars we've seen so far? Your take?
My take is everybody get ready for this video that's going to go on Instagram. So, all right. So really what I think about the cars, guys, ladies, you've all put in a lot of work. It's going to be a great competition today. Still doing a video. And I can't wait to see you guys run down Woodward. Alex, you are the reigning champ. You hooked up last time and you won. And I'm expecting to see you hook up again. So good luck to everybody. I can't wait to see this happen.
I've been following all of these cars getting built on Instagram, and before we get into any part of this competition, I should say congrats to all of you for being invited, for getting your cars together whether they don't have a clutch or not. You know what? You don't get to do this from the sofa. A round of applause for everybody for being here.
Absolutely.
And now as far as the main attraction, this is like my home team. So we got Alex Taylor, Lucky Costa. They're both from the Hot Rod Garage show on MotorTrend. So you're like a sister to us on Roadkill. And you're a brother, Lucky. You're an absolute brother.
Well.
You would not believe the thrash that went on to get this car together.
Oh, I bet you I would. Let's get the story, though, Alex.
Let's run back a little bit. So going back to class like you were talking about from previously, we went back to our same formula from last year, which was traction, weight, and then horsepower. So the Hot Rod Garage team dug down and found a car that originally wasn't too cool, and that happened to be a 1955 Plymouth Savoy. How dare you. but anything can have the potential to be cool, and I think the car behind us is. So we came in, the first week we're in there, sadly, Lucky tested positive for COVID, so we fought COVID case after COVID case. My dad tested positive, I tested positive, so it separated all of us, and we had this weird mix of not only having to build a car, but having to build a makeshift garage, because we got transported over to a hobby shop, basically. Literally had to wire up the power so we could plug in the welder, turn on lights. It was interesting. So that was the first feed. Next, we completely gutted the car and built a chassis from ground up. I'm not talking like we didn't buy really anything on this car. We built it and put it together. And it's been an incredible team effort that we're really proud of the project that we have behind us.
I don't mean to say that we expect it from you, but we expect it from you. Right? I mean, after last year, when you brought that car, and it finally, a few days before the event last year, we finally saw pictures of what you guys did a great job of holding it close to the vest last year. So we figured something big was going to have to be in the works to back that up. As you were building this, did you have that thought process? We've got to one up. We've got to do something bigger, better, and meaner, nastier?
So the thing is that at my heart and soul, I'm a drag racer, and then everything else is second. And so as we're building it, that's where the mind's at. Like, what are we going to do to, win? We want to go be competitive. Of course, it's a drag race. At the end of the day, anything can happen. But we wanted to come with a car that we felt was ready to do it. And so honestly, as we're building it, it was 16, 18-hour days every day for a month straight. My dad came out. Our friend Greg Peterson came out and helped build. And all of us as a joint effort are just like, what can we do to win? We're here to race our own race. At the end of the day, everybody else has great cars as well. So we definitely came with a car we felt capable, and then we'll figure it out on the street.
Sounds good. Dave, since you got a mic over there, Lucky, let me ask you this. We knew that last year that traction was going to be the way to go. It made all the difference in the world. Horsepower was not king out here on Woodward, at least not last year. We've seen not everybody out here has big tire cars. What's your take on this?
My take on big tire cars, I don't have a lot of big tire cars, but I did do a little internet research on Dennis Taylor Racing, to be specific, and I was sold. So I was just a quiet guy in the back. Call me when you need me, and happy to jump in.
Man, it was a team effort. It's as all these guys know right here, it's a little bit of sleep, a lot of passion projects, and I think we're all on the same page on that.
I think you're right. And let's see this fantastic car that we've got underneath the cover here, you guys. Check this thing out. From defending champion Alex Taylor. Look at that. I mean, it looks fantastic. Wait till you guys hear that thing fired up. How about, honestly, guys, how about a nice big round of applause for all of our competitors right now that are going to take it to the street here tomorrow. Some of our folks are newbies trying to make a name for themselves. This is a great stage for them to be on. They get in front of a lot of people. There's a lot of press coverage. There's a lot of talk in our hobby about this. We've got, again, we talk about the KG veterans that are, looking to come on back and make a big special saying, if you will, on what they do. But, at the end of the day, it comes down to who's the fastest, right? Who's going to be at the end of the road. I don't know. We don't know. Do you know? Nobody really knows yet. Dave, Preston, let me ask you guys. I mean, I know we're not sitting here picking favorites, but what do you think it's going to take to win Roadkill Night's direct connection grudge match here on Woodward Avenue?
I believe the big deal is going to be people who have sorted out their clutch. Sorry, Weston. No, it's a big thing. I know, Tim Kuniskis at Dodge is a big hot rodder, and he knew that bang shifting was going to bring this whole thing to the next level. He required the 6 speeds, and I don't think everybody figured out how difficult it's going to be to launch, and you're going to have to grab gears too. So I think the people who figured that out are going to be on top.
Preston?
Absolutely. So I want to say redneck science. All right. So it's definitely going to take, as I've said, traction. Traction is going to be key here because we have similar builds here, and we have different vehicles. So traction is going to be key, and I can't wait to see somebody's soul get snatched. Now, all right, don't snatch mine, but I can't wait. So everybody, good luck. Definitely run it down. Be safe, and I'm happy to be here again.
Woodward Avenue is a fickle mistress. She certainly is, and we've seen that over the years here at Roadkill Nights powered by Dodge. Tomorrow, we're going to do it again, and we're really excited to have all of you here. Before we get on out of here, you guys want to hear these things fire up? You guys willing to do that? Climb on in there, fire these things up for us. Let's run them for a couple seconds. Let's hear what it sounds like. This is an awful lot of Hellcat horsepower. Yeah, listen to fuel pumps firing up. Love it. Yes. Holy cow. That's awesome. Woo! Holy cow, how about that?
Woo! Here's a good question. How many cars here have 1,000 wheel horsepower? You got 1,000? Who's got 1,000? Oh, come on. Alex Lucky?
Yeah, right.
Come on.
Nobody wants to fess up, dude.
No one wants to
it's
fess up.
It's street racing. Come
on, man. That is what this event's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's awesome. That's great stuff. You guys, that is going to wrap things up for us. We love that you're here. Thank you so much for being a part of it, and we can't wait to get these cars on the track tomorrow. Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge, the direct connection grudge match on Woodward Avenue here at M1 Concourse. Thanks for being a part of it, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.